Hey there. My name is Auth, short for authentic, and I'm trying something new today. So I wanted to record something and get it out because at the time of recording, I've hit 100 subscribers, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted that my channel's grown so quickly in just a week. Because I released my first video last week, and just my last video that I released the other day has already surpassed 600 views. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you. Thank you for everyone who's supporting my channel. So today I wanted to do a little bit of a ramble chat sort of thing. I thought it'd be fun because I haven't had a chance to get the house quiet to myself, so it's late at night. And I thought it'd be cool to do something like a little soft spoken. So today I wanted to talk about accents. So if you haven't been able to tell already, I am Australian. But this is not necessarily my usual accent that I use when I'm out and about. So, for context, there are three categories of Australian accents: cultivated, general, and broad. Cultivated is the more posh, Kate Blanchett type accent. General is the more standard variety, and broad is your Crocodile Dundee, Steve Irwin type accent. So they are largely socioeconomically based. So the more richer areas in big cities, you're going to be more likely to find people with cultivated accents. Outer suburbs, you're more likely to find general accents, and in rural areas, you're more likely to find broad accents. And that's mostly due to the fact that Australia is a young country. It's not like the UK where accents will be different from city to city. So, for me personally, I will use a cultivated accent when I don't have an audience, or, like, for example, ASMR, or I'm talking to someone who's not familiar with the Australian accent. So, and on Discord calls when I'm visiting other countries overseas. The way I'm speaking now is essentially how I'll be speaking most of the time. And then when I'm around, like, my uni mates or any of my secondary school, high school friends, I'm just in general public, I'll switch to my general Australian accent. It's more like rounded vowels. I'll nasalize that a little bit. The general accent makes more use of diphthongs. So a diphthong is when you take two vowel sounds and basically try to turn them into one. So mate is obviously just the A sound, but in general and broad accents it'll become like an A-I-A sound to become mate. That's just a feature of general and broad accents. It's all fascinating stuff, I reckon. But yeah, and like, because I don't have any friends or anyone near me at the moment, I immediately just switched back to this cultivated accent because it's what I'm used to doing. Other things that I love about the Australian accent are the use of slang, which is probably quite famous. So, for example, in Australia, we'll say the service station is, in rather than or like petrol pump is where you get the fuel for your car. And like McDonald's, we say Macca's. So it's quite typical to say, yeah, I'm going to head down to the servo to get some fuel for my car, and then maybe go on a cheeky Macca's run right after. Meaning I'm going to go down to the service station or like the petrol pump to get some fuel for my car, and then go to Macca's and get something there. That stuff is, I think, really what makes Australian accents wonderful. There's other small bits and pieces, like Australians will add a phantom R to their sounds. For example, if I want to put the word law and art together, for example, people who study a double degree in law and art, they'll most likely say, "Oh, I study law arts." If you didn't hear that, I'll say it a little bit slower. "Oh, I study law arts." If you couldn't hear it, I added an R between law and arts. That's something that appears in Australian English and is relatively unique to Australian English. That's my understanding. So yeah, I can also do like a very uh, overemphasized American accent, but obviously, as you can already tell, I'm trying really hard. I'm trying really hard to try and maintain that accent without letting any of my Australian vowels enter that. I either feel like Siri or like Google Assistant trying to speak, the way my intonation just stays way too bubbly. Or I feel like some sort of celebrity on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I'm talking about like chihuahuas. Oh, that's so stupid. Yeah, I'd love to practice I'd love to practice American accents. But it requires a fair bit of practice, I reckon. What would probably be more easy for me to practice is like a British accent, because this cultivated accent is already halfway there to being British. It's just missing a couple of some vowel sounds. But I'd love to practice like a Scottish accent. There's a certain Scottish TikToker that I love to watch. I could probably copy her accent. She's also super into languages. She's great. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. If I find it, I will link it in the description. But yeah, Irish accents are also pretty fun. Those seem like something cool to learn. Um, I can also do a bit of a French accent because I studied French for several years, and I'm familiar with the vowels and the French guttural R. Essentially, if you want to apply a foreign speaker's accent to the English language, you need to look at what sounds are going to be most familiar to them. So in French, they don't have, like, for example, the v sound. The v can be represented by a thorn in English. It's like a P-looking character, and it doesn't exist in French. So most French speakers aren't going to be familiar with it. So they'll use like a z sound or maybe a s or a t sound, depending on what word they're trying to use. And it's also why French speakers have difficulty saying words like rural or thorough, because those sounds and those combinations of sounds just simply don't exist in French. It don't exist in French. I say a lot. I do. And I would populate my sentences with instead of because French speakers don't use they say Yeah, so there's all sorts of fun different things that happen with accents. Another thing as well is I'm ethnic, like I'm not like white Australian. So I didn't realize until I was 16 that I spoke with an ethnic accent at home when I was speaking English. So I do not speak my parents' mother tongue. I don't speak my mother tongue. I don't speak my parents' language. So when I communicate, I essentially subconsciously spoke with an ethnic accent. Now it's funny because when I go to my parents' country and I visit the relatives, I have to put on that fake accent, that fake ethnic accent, in order for them to understand me, because my relatives aren't used to Australian accents. Um, this cultivated accent is okay, but it's not ideal. They need either British, like very British, or like an American accent. That's like easiest for them to understand. So what I have to do is I have to put on this fake ethnic accent, and then I'll do that, and they'll look at me weird, like, "Oh, you don't speak the language." I'm like, "No, sorry," and they're like, "Oh, that's a shame." And then they'll turn to, like, my mum and speak in the language and be like, "Oh, that's such a shame. He doesn't speak the language, blah blah blah." And my mum, and my mum has to explain, "Oh, he still understands it." And then they'll look at me and they're like, "Oh, that's okay, that's okay." Like they weren't about to just go and like talk shit about me to someone else, thinking I didn't speak or didn't understand language. Anyway, that was a going on 11 minutes. I am impressed with my own ability to ramble on and not make much of a point. So yeah, this was pretty fun, to be honest. Like just talking in like a soft-spoken voice and just not worrying about scripts and writing and all of that. So, if you enjoyed this video, this ASMR, please let me know by leaving a like, leaving a comment. It would help the growth of the channel a lot. And I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for your support, for everyone's support. Just in this first week, like I'm honestly dumbfounded how much this channel has grown in only a week. I've attempted YouTube channels before, and I was lucky to get maybe 10 subscribers after like 2 or 3 videos over 2 weeks, but 100 freaking subscribers in 1 week is like mind-boggling for me. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I want to do my best. I want to make at least 90% of my content. I want it to be wholesome, fun content that anyone can enjoy. Maybe like a 1 or 2 yandere here and there, but majority of it I want it to be fun, educational, my type of beat. Like I'm a pretty nerdy person. The title of this one's gonna be Nerdy Australian Talks About Accents or something like that, I think. But I want to make content that almost anyone would be able to enjoy. So thank you if you've made it all the way to the end. That really, really means a lot. If you want to hear this type of content again, just let me know. I'm also more than happy to look at fan scripts if that's something that interests you. I can't guarantee that I will read it out, but if you want to send it my way, I'm more than happy to have a look. My email is in the channel description and the description box below. So, well, 14 minutes. If you've been using this to relax or go to sleep, I hope that you have enjoyed the video so far and that you get some good rest and relaxation. Otherwise, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.